Hey Rocky, I'm gonna roast some coffee for you, man. And I got two angles going. So I got the iPad that's gonna record the back, and then I'll put both of the videos up so you can see the beans change from this way and this way. I can show you the controls. And just kind of the stuff you'll need. Here's the roaster, man. This one's called the SR. This one's actually the SR800. This is not the 540. It's the SR800. And originally, if you buy it, it comes with just this part and the motor and the lid. But I bought this extension tube that allows you to roast like a half a pound instead of a quarter pound. So if you buy it, you can still roast a quarter pound. And I think this extension tube's like $100, man. So it'd save you a little money if you just roast a quarter pound at a time in this thing. But it, you need that. I need like an oven glove or some kind of hot pad, because this gets really hot. And I'll show you later when you take this off to let chaff out. And you'll see what chaff is too. It gets pretty messy. You need a fan, and that's to blow the chaff away, and a bowl for when you're done roasting to dump the beans in. And then, so I have about a half a pound of beans, 227 grams. And we're gonna dump that in a minute. But I'm gonna show you right here, these are the controls. So it's got an on and off. That's basically start, and then start the cooling process. And this is the adjustment knob. So when you turn it on, it'll show you that the fan is powered at 9. The power is 2, that's the heat. Fan is the blower, power is the heat. And the timer, I'll show you this, man. The timer I don't even mess with. I just run it up as high as it'll go. What I focus on is the fan and the power and the beans. So I haven't used this in a while, but let's go ahead and dump the beans in and see if I remember. All right. And then we're gonna watch them change color over time, and then eventually you're gonna hear them crack, okay? So the coffee will crack at a certain temperature, usually like 375 degrees. And then, so if you do first crack, what I like to do, I like light roast coffee. So at first crack, I start cooling it down and pulling it out. But if you like it darker, you want to go to second crack. So what I'm going to do is take this all the way to second crack so that you can see, you know, the different variations of what roast level you can get. So let's go ahead and start it. So we're going to hit run cool. And I'll tell you also, before we start, what I like to do is start with the fan really high and the power low. And then basically I raise the power a little bit and a little bit and a little bit till it tops out at 9. And at that point I keep the power high, and then I turn the fan down so that it keeps cooking. But the beans eventually turn from like exothermic to endothermic. So at first they're absorbing heat, and then eventually they start popping and giving off heat, which is kind of when you leave the power high and pull the fan down. Anyway, and this, you click it to scroll through how you want to adjust. And then I'll show you once it starts, when you spin it like this. Hold on, let me let it stop flashing. Stop, buddy. Anyway, when you spin it like this, it'll show you the temperature. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start it. Let's get the party started. Alright. So what we're going to do is turn the knob, and now you're going to see the temperature go up. What we're going to do is wait for the temperature to stall out. You want the temperature to constantly be rising. This is called the rate of change, the ROC. You want it to always be rising, 1-2 degrees every 2 seconds. Starting to stall out a little bit. You just want that always to be going up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and come back over here, scroll through, and raise the power up to 3. And then we're going to go back to the top. A little long, so let's go ahead and raise it up to 4. And you want the beans to always be bouncing. If they're sitting still, they're burning at the bottom. Stalling out a little bit, so let's go ahead and go back. And you'll see the beans in this video. Hopefully you can see them kind of change in color. You can see some chaff coming off. That's why I have that fan there. Sitting there for a minute. Let's go ahead and go up to 6. Let's bump it up to 7. You don't want it to stall out. You're going to get like a baked flavor. Start cracking here in a minute. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. These might have skipped first crack and gone straight to second. Usually I would have pulled them by now because I like it a little lighter. They're getting nice and dark. This is about a medium right here. When they start getting real dark, you can smell it. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. That way we'll get a nice dark roast for you, just so you can see it. See, it's up to 540. Starting to smoke a little. That's how you know you're getting into dark territory. Yeah, they're smoking. I don't know if you can see that, but alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and pull them. So at this point you hit run cool. And then it's going to show you see-through right here. What I do is turn the fan up a little bit and just turn the power all the way down. But basically what this does is it kills the heat and just runs the fan to cool it off for 3 minutes. So it's just running air through there. It doesn't really cool them off, but it stops the roasting process. You gotta be careful, sometimes beans will get stuck up in here. That's all the chaff. So you can just let that run, but what I usually do is just turn it off. Take off the lid with the heat pad because it's hot. The handle's not hot, but then I dump them in a, and then just put the fan on them like that. Just kind of stir them up, let them cool. But that's a nice dark roast. You know, it's pretty even. But it's that simple, man. Just takes a little practice and patience.